a great way to tell that the NBA season is right around the corner. It's trade articles, man. We ain't really had no real trade in a little while. Last year we got spoiled because we had the Karl Anthony Towns Julius Randle trade like right before training camp. Now we just kind of waited for hoops. Well, Bleacher Report put together one of their first trade articles of the season, and I can't wait to dive into it. Trade packages and landing spots for the top 10 NBA trade assets. Interesting to see Jeremy McCain and Reed Sheppard here. Now, this was created on the 24th, and for the life of me, actually, let me Google this real quick. Fred VanVleet injury happened 2 days before this, so I'm assuming that Reed Sheppard pictures because now we need to find somebody that can do the Fred VanVleet stuff. I don't know. We're going to see. This is from Zach Buckley over at BR. Shout out to them. Number 10, the Portland picks up an all-star guard. Who could this guard be? That's the fun game here. All-star guard that might be on the move. The only thing that comes to mind is the guy that's injured right now in Tyler Hero. Is this a Tyler Hero trade? It is. Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, and Terry Rozier for Jeremy Grant, Shaedon Sharpe, Robert Williams III, and a first-round pick. I saw in media day that Robert Williams III is not even ready to like go through contact yet, and I feel like we ain't seen him play since the first time the Celtics went to the finals. That felt like 100 years ago. So interesting. Shaedon Sharpe obviously has a crazy amount of talent. It's just a matter of putting it all together and finding that jump shot. And, you know, what level of player will he be? Is he just a starter in this league? Can he be an all-star one day? That's a cool shot to take if you're the Miami Heat, I guess. Jeremy Grant as a wing. I can't say I love this necessarily for the Trailblazers because obviously Tyler Hero makes them better. But do you think that new core of Tyler Hero, Denny, and Tumani, and Scoot, and Klingon and Jan Hansen, is that going to ever be enough in the Western Conference? Probably not. So I would be okay with just trying to develop the in-house talent. And then for a team to not be in contention or to not really be a playoff team as currently constructed, and the Trailblazers might make some noise this season, to give up a pick 4 years down the line feels like a much. And it's the most favorable of teams that we don't really know. Like, is Giannis still on the Bucks in 2029? Are the Trailblazers completely turn it around by then? But yeah, it's a little bit too rich for the Portland Trailblazers. I think they'd rather just stick with what they got. I'm not mad at the idea though, because it did make me think. Nikola Topic getting traded. Oh my goodness. For Keegan Murray, it says the Thunder turned Topic potential into proven 3-D wing. It's Topic, is Ousmane Dieng, who they traded up to get, right? A first-round pick that's top 4 protected, another first-round pick. Dang, is that the value of Keegan Murray? 3-point percent is going down every single season, Keegan Murray? The reason I don't like this trade is because the OKC Thunder will have to pay Keegan Murray almost ASAP. And I think the way that the Oklahoma City Thunder have figured it out is that if they keep bringing in people on rookie-scale contracts that can contribute right now, they could keep their big three alive for a long time. Right? Nikola Topic, I don't know what he looks like in the rotation this first year of his real NBA career, but you got 3 years of runway until you have to potentially pay him. With Keegan Murray, you bring him into the door, and he's eligible for an extension right now. He's going to be hit restricted free agency this offseason. I don't know what the Keegan Murray market is, but I don't want to be the one that's paying it if I can just hopefully supplement that level of production with some rookie scale contracts that have years left on them. So that's the reason why Sam Presti has hung on to all of these picks, because if we can just keep on flipping them and turning those players into people that can contribute, you keep your window alive. So I don't like this trade whatsoever for the OKC Thunder. If I'm the Kings, immediate accept. Are you kidding me? Well, I mean, I like Keegan Murray. I don't know much about Topic yet. Ousmane Dieng he hasn't really been able to play in the NBA championship level team. But like two first-round picks and 2 good flyers for Keegan Murray? I think the Kings should be thinking like this for sure. Call their phone. That would seem like a Sam Presti type of trade. Rockets swap Sheppard for established score. Established score. Norman Powell. Nah. Because I don't think that's the role that they need to be feeling right now. Yeah, Norman Powell helps with the half-court offense, right? Coming down some screens and taking and making tough three-point shots like he did all the last season. But losing Fred VanVleet wasn't necessarily about that. It's about initiating. It's about a play setter more than anything. And Norman Powell don't really provide those type of things. I'm okay with just riding out for Reed Sheppard or waiting until December 15th or January 15th for somebody else becomes available that's more in the mode of a Fred VanVleet or more of a mode of a lead guard. Norman Powell's not going to do that. Not going to do that. So pass. Even though obviously they get better today. They get better today if they do this trade. I'm liking the trades because they're making me think, not because they're good trades. You know what I mean? I like to be able to just really think through some of these stuffs. Next one we have, Warriors solve Kuminga stalemate. As I'm recording this, I got a notification in the middle of this video that Jonathan Kuminga signed a 2-year contract. So maybe we just look past this one completely. Don't have to worry about this because it ain't ever happening, because Kuminga's now, he can't be traded until January 15th. But he just signed his contract. Let's just, assuming where they were when this article came out, Jonathan Kuminga on the signing trade, Moses Moody, and a 2028 first. That's what a 2028 first for the Bulls? Y'all know Kobe. That's my, you know what I'm saying? I would have thought about this one. For sure. Are you kidding me? But obviously, there's no reason to think about it because it's done. Thunder consolidate with Wallace trade for big wing. You trade in Casey Wallace. Again, Casey Wallace is a prime example of a rookie scale contract that come in and contribute and average 20 plus minutes on the championship team. So that's where his value holds right now. Great defender, knock down his shots, good transition player, but more than anything, rookie scale contract. So what is this big wing that they're talking about? It is Trey. You're not going to find many people bigger of a Trey Murphy fan than me. I ain't going to lie to you. Now, this is one I got to think about. Oh, man. So, okay. It's Casey Wallace. It's Isaiah Joe. It's Ousmane Dieng. Ousmane, I'm sorry that you're a part of every single OKC trade here, okay? A 2026 first-round pick that's top 4 protected via Philly. 2026. Philly, their season's up in the air. I couldn't tell you how many wins they're going to get. Anybody that's gambling on a Philadelphia over-under, y'all are crazy because anything could happen with that season. And then the 2030 first-round pick, which I'm assuming that just means it's from OKC. The three-point shooting. Now, playing devil's advocate to me talking about these rookie scale contracts, winning back-to-back championships is really hard. Running it back has not been really the recipe in the last couple of years of winning that championship. The lack of three-point shooting was one of the few amount of red flags we had about the OKC Thunder. Obviously, it didn't matter too much, but they did go to multiple Game 7s on their path to go to a championship. Trey Murphy's a better ball player right now than Casey Wallace. They still got more dogs at that guard defensive position that maybe make you feel some type of way. This is weird. This is like me putting both of my kids against each other, dog. I love Casey Wallace. He's my favorite player in that prospect. Hell, there was a tweet that once Casey Wallace got drafted, I said, OKC fans, y'all got room for me? People was bringing it up after they won the championship saying I was a bandwagon, but I wasn't there for OKC. I was there for Casey Wallace. I also love Trey Murphy. This is such an interesting trade because what makes it different is that Trey Murphy's already getting his paper, right? Like the Keegan Murray one, you have to be the one paying Keegan Murray. Trey Murphy's already got paid, and Trey Murphy's already averaged 20 points per game in this NBA. While Keegan Murray, not so much. Wow. I think it is hard to explain to your fan base that you would do a trade where you gave up a key rotational piece on a team that just won a championship. And hypothetically, if they do this trade and they don't win a championship again, there's going to be people like, man, we would have kept Casey Wallace around. Whole time, Casey Wallace go to New Orleans and he killing. Because I think he could do that. He playing a role right now. I think he can do more. I actually like this trade. Not saying it's a smart trade, but this is, again, an intriguing one. I'm not mad at it. That's my favorite one of the ones we've seen so far. Future First helps Philly subtract George and add Larry Markkinen. Okay, so this is one that has been rumored for a long time, it feels like. I think it's Professor Zach Lowe has been saying that Larry Markkinen is the most interesting trade chip of this upcoming season. Larry Markkinen is a really good play finisher, not that great of a facilitator or like a playmaker, but boy, can he finish plays. And also, he's getting paid as if he is an all-NBA player, which, like, he had an amazing season at the exact right time and got that money. So he could be the number one trade asset right now. But also, it is pretty tough to convince yourself if you are a team that traded for Larry Markkinen's contract is worth it, unless you are a team like the 76ers, who in this hypothetical trade, let's say Paul George is not the Paul George that he just was 2 years ago. Now you don't really care about Larry Markkinen's contract because he's better than Paul George. And if we want to keep our window open with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, Larry Markkinen is such a good play finisher. He doesn't provide the defense or the playmaking or the secondary ball handling / the one-touch passes that Paul George can provide, but if Paul George is on that second edge of what is it called? We know he's on the back end of his prime or his career, but let's say the greatness is dwindled. Larry Markin's probably working his way to greatness. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the contract lengths are the same. Yeah, the contracts are very similar. But Larry Markin could be on up and up, while Paul George on the down and down. It is a 2028 first-round pick via the Clippers. We don't know what the Clippers are going to look like. They got so much cap space in 2027, so they could look like another really good team, or they could not use that cap space productively, and that picks look really good. And then 2 seconds. I think it's a cool trade if you're the Utah Jazz, because they already got Kevin Love and then Kyle Anderson and then Yusuf Nurkic. Just sent all the old, washed-ish players to the Utah Jazz to be exiled. That's what it kind of looks like. But Paul George, you're rooting for you, brother. I'm rooting that last year, 16 points per game. I remember seeing that, just looking at it and be like, dang, Paul George fell off from 24 points per game to 16? Then Speed asked him what you doing in Philly. Speed didn't even remember that the man plays for Philly. That's how bad of a season it was for Paul George. Next. Pistons part with Holland, an all-in blockbuster. Oh, I can see it. It's peeking out. I was trying to guess who it was going to be. I saw it peeking out. It was Devin Booker. Ron Holland, Jaden Ivey, Toby, a 2027 first, a 2029 first, and a 2031 first. Golly, that's a haul. Hey, man, if you're going to want to hit the reset of you, Phoenix, if you want to hit the reset, it don't get much better than this. I'm a Ron Holland believer personally. If you want to look at Summer League's presence, I think that he shot it very well, and his jump shot looked more fluid. Jaden Ivey, of course, is coming off that big injury, so you would have to be the one to pay him if you're the Phoenix Suns. Worthy gamble. Tobias Harris, who really cares? No disrespect. It's those 3 first-round picks, and you're like, oh, snap. But if Devin Booker's going to Detroit, maybe those picks are not very valuable because Devin Booker, if you don't know, is really good at basketball. And him and Cade Cunningham as a backcourt. I think he's from Michigan. I want the Pistons to do an all-in trade, or maybe not all-in. I want them to do a trade where they get another all-star. I don't think you have to be all-in to do that type of trade. This right here is kind of all in, right? Now you got the core of Devin Booker, Cade Cunningham, Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren, and I guess Isaiah Stewart is still there on the team and so on. I count this as all in. I think there's another level beneath that you could do without giving up 3 first-round picks and Ron Holland. I don't know who that player is. Maybe it's the guy that we just mentioned, Larry Marketing. Like a Larry Marketing trade is probably a lot easier to do if you are the Detroit Pistons without giving up all of this stuff. But also, you may not have the same ceiling as if you had Devin Booker on the team. So it's all what you really visualize. But I do look at like a Larry Marketing next to Cade Cunningham would be pretty dope. Again, as a play finisher. Devin Booker alleviates some of that pressure as a play finisher and a play initiator for Cade Cunningham. And that has its value in itself. It would be like Ron Holland, Kami Malach. Who else is on that team? I don't even know who's on that damn team right now. Colin Gillespie. Oh. The Heat give up where to go for it. Have I been out of focus this whole video? Why nobody told me? Why am I out of focus? What the hell? This has never happened to me. Don't tell me I've been out of focus this whole video. I'm going to be so pissed if I edit this and I'm out of focus for the whole time. Anyway, Khalil Ware is gone to bring in Trey Murphy is just moving in to go for it. Is this a go for it? In my mind, this is a go for it. Boom. 2 young players, 3 first-round picks for an all-star, a damn all-NBA player. This ain't getting no all-star or an all-NBA. Now, I do think that Trey Murphy can be an all-star one day. Again, I'm high on him. I don't like this trade at all. This is going for it? Is this going for it if you're a Heat fan? I remember when the Heat was going for it and getting Bron and Chris Bosh. I remember they was going for it and somehow ended up with Jimmy Butler after giving up Josh Richardson. I remember them going for it and getting... That's all I got. But nah, this ain't it. Next, so here's the move. It's for Maxey. Wow. All right. Let's think about this. Maxey and Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon going back to Houston. All right. For Reed Sheppard, Tari Eason, Fred VanVleet, Clint Capella, first-round pick in 2027 via the Suns. Whew, that pick could be interesting. And then the 2029 first-round pick, the most favorable of Houston, Dallas, and Phoenix. Now, that's a haul for Tyrese Maxey. I'm trying to think about what their potential roster looks like now. So it's Amen, it's Maxey, it's KD, it's Jabari, and it's still Şengün as far as like the core starting 5. You still do on the back end. You still got Steven Adams in this hypothetical. You still got Doe in this hypothetical. Hey. Now, this is when we talked about earlier about Norman Powell not being the type of player that they need. Maxey could be that and more. He is a guy that can create for himself, but also he showed the, especially when he was playing with another all NBA caliber center and Joel Embiid, that he could be, second fiddle slash setup guy too. This is a lot. And I don't know if the Tari Eason rumors have been true about him being disgruntled about the lack of extension. But if that is the case, that makes it just a little bit easier. Again, I'm not saying that is the case. I don't know. I haven't talked to him or his family or anything. But if that is the case, it makes it a little bit easier. And if you are the Houston Rockets, why should you care about these? Why? I don't hate this. Now, if you're the 76ers, it's probably tough to make this trade. But this is, in my mind, this is them hitting the reset amongst their, core. Tyrese Maxey is still, 25 years old somehow, or 26 years old. But if, so maybe he's not the guy that should be traded. It's like a Joel Embiid or a Paul George. But if you were in this world, Tyrese Maxey wants to be traded, this is not a terrible trade package. I guess you have to really, really believe in Sheppard. And I'm kind of indifferent on Sheppard right now. I don't know what to think yet because I just haven't seen enough film to know if he's a future Mark Price like he was projected out of the draft, or is he more Peyton Pritchard? I don't know. I just said two white guys. Last one we got is 76ers turn McCain and picks package into a Devin Booker. So it's going the opposite way. We selling stuff here. We buying all in. So this gives them, this is some 2K. These last couple have been real life 2K trades. Something that we could never really see happening. But man, is it interesting, right? A Devin Booker, Maxey, Joel Embiid team. The wings are the wings. Don't ask about them. They ain't the greatest. But the wings are the wings. In this hypothetical, Quentin Grimes is back. He figured out that contract situation. Devin Booker for Paul George, Jared McCain, a 2028 first-round pick, and a 2029 first-round pick, and a 2031 first-round pick. 3 firsts for D-Book, plus Jared McCain and Paul George. I'm not mad at Zach Buckley in this article. I cannot say that I agree with many, but at the end of the day, I don't think there's ever going to be an article with a trade that we yes. It's more about the idea, and it plants these flowers in your mind and getting your brain processing for trade season because it's right around the corner. So is the NBA season. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see y'all. This video is brought to you by Viore. So I want you to take a guess. Based on the way I'm dressed, you think I'm going to A, play golf, B, go into a work meeting, or C, just going to get the groceries? See, I can already see the comments are split because the honest answer is it could be any of those things. I am dressed for pretty much everything right now in this Viore. That's because Viore has this perfect combination of clothes you can wear if you're going to be moving a lot, like a workout, or if it truly is just real life. Somehow we are in October and it's still 85 degrees here in Chicago. So right now I'm rocking the breathable polo, but eventually the weather will break. It's my favorite time of the year when it does. And I'll be ready with some of this. I don't know if you can really tell, but the inside of this is as soft as can be. So it doesn't matter what the weather is. I'll be ready. For my walk, I could wear this. When the weather breaks, I can wear this. I'm good. And right now, I'm only showing you one piece of the brand, but there are so many different styles and sections. You got the lifestyle, which is basically what I'm rocking right now. You have low impact activewear. That's usually what I would be wearing to the gym. And then we got performance and training. That's for the people that's lifting those heavy weights and preparing for marathons and stuff. Thank you to Viore again for sponsoring this video. To find out more, be sure to scan the QR code or hit the link in the description.